Welcome to the Goalbusters Expert Peak Productivity Tips podcast, where top business experts get just 7 minutes to answer 5 rapid-fire questions about what they do and how they stay productive. Each episode is packed with actionable insights to help boost your efficiency and achieve your goals. Let's dive in and unlock the secrets to peak performance.
Well, hello everyone. My name is Robin J. Emden and I'm an accountability coach and the author of Get Resultsology, The Science of Getting Stuff Done. I work with people who run their own business. No boss, distractions everywhere, and never enough hours in the day. Together, we cut through the noise, sharpen their focus, and follow through on the big ideas that actually move the needle. That's what I call the momentum formula. Do it today, profit tomorrow, and repeat. So if that sounds like the kind of breakthrough that you've been looking for, then you're in exactly the right place. And speaking of being in exactly the right place, I am delighted to welcome our guest expert today, Dorien Morin-van Dam. Dorien is a Vermont-based B2B content strategist with 15 plus years helping small teams build content systems that drive growth. Dorien specialises in organic strategy, editorial planning and live video, turning expertise into repeatable demand gen engines. She hosts the Strategy Talks video podcast, speaks internationally and is known for clear messaging, practical frameworks and workflows teams can maintain. You'll recognise her by her signature orange glasses, a nod to Dorien's Dutch roots. Dorien, welcome to Goalbusters.
Thanks for having me, Robin. I'm very excited to be here today.
I'm excited to have you here too. Whereabouts in Vermont are you?
I'm right in the middle of Vermont, right north of Killington, which is an incredible ski mountain, a ski resort. So we're right north of that, and so 15 minutes from the mountain. It's a beautiful area.
Ooh, sounds lovely. It's giving me shivers in more ways than one. So perhaps we should move on and do the questions instead, shall we?
Yeah.
All right, I'll get the clock up on the screen, and there it goes. Dorien, could you tell me, please, who is your ideal client?
It is a founder or an agency. So the first one, a founder, would be somebody who has an agency or has a small business where they have a small team and maybe haven't hired a marketing team. They would hire me to come in, help with their content strategy and then implementation as well. As far as agencies I work with, because I'm an organic specialist, the ICP of an ideal agency for me to work with would be an agency that runs ads, where I do the organic part and they run the ads.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. And so what exactly then is the problem or the problems, because I'm sure you solve more than one, that you solve for them?
I look at all of their business goals, and then I help them figure out how marketing can help them attain those goals. In social, so business goals dictate marketing goals dictate social media goals. So you have to make sure you start with the business goals. And a lot of people get kind of lost in the weed. They know they need to do marketing, they know they need to do social media, but they don't tie it back to their goals. So that's one of the pain points I solve. And then the other one is that there's a lot of founders out there with incredible knowledge inside their head, and they have no idea that people want to know it, want to know what they're thinking and how to get it out of their head. And I'm very good at that. Having conversations with founders, with thought leaders, and getting that information and their knowledge out and putting it on social into content, so that they are actually talking to their ICP.
Fantastic. So then obviously that's a fascinating answer, and it's quite a complicated thing that you're doing there. So what is one valuable free action that our audience can implement that will help them to at least move some way towards solving these problems for themselves?
Ooh, that is to write down your business goals. It doesn't matter if somebody says, oh, you need a social media manager or you really need this or that. It doesn't matter what you think you need. Write down your business goals, anything you want to attain this year, 2026. Start with that. And then look at the resources you have. And then look at the people you want to reach. And then look at where your gaps are. Because you might not need a social media manager, you might need a content strategist. Or maybe you don't need either of them and you might need a video editor. So starting with the business goals and then plugging in what you already have and then figuring out who it is that you need is going to be really, really handy for you to solve your kind of content issue, because a lot of people have these ideas about content, but they're not producing it in a way that makes sense, or they're just posting to social just to post, but there's no strategy behind it. And if you do that, then what do you have? You're just posting, you're not creating content.
Yeah, absolutely. Completely agree with you. So now that we have a better understanding, well, a little bit of a better understanding, I've only given you 3 minutes to be fair. Let's just dive briefly into goal busting, which is focusing on how to maximize productive time to achieve your business goals. So Doreen, could you share any tips or advice for someone looking to improve their productivity habits?
Yeah, absolutely. I am a certified Agile marketer. And for those of you who have maybe heard about Agile but don't really know, it comes from the software industry. It's where you work in sprints and you have quick iterations where you make quick changes. The easiest way to explain it, anybody who has an iPhone, they're on iOS, whatever we are on 16.2, 19.5, those are all iterations, those small changes of software updates. If you work in your business the same way, where you create fast, you get to market fast and then you make little changes, that is one way to get the content out. I think one of the biggest stumbling blocks for founders, businesses, agencies is that they overthink the content creation process and they want it to be perfect. Well, guess what? Your audience just wants to hear you and see you. They don't want perfect. Perfect is out. Ugly ads are in right now. Make it ugly, make it real. So that's one thing I would say. Get to market faster, use agile marketing. The other piece in agile marketing that I use to explain to people where they're going wrong if you want to be more productive, almost everybody I talk to says they have a finish line, right? Oh, I have a deadline, right? Very few people talk about the starting line. And this is where you go wrong. So if you have a project, say you have a deadline of Friday, you need to have a blog post written, right? Your starting line might be 2 weeks ago, but say it's Monday. What do you do on Monday? You don't wait till Thursday to start. Your starting line is Monday. So on Monday, you get your Google Doc together. You write down the headline. You write down your ideas. On Tuesday, you might do the research and add to it. So you're basically working on it all week. And I think that is a mindset change, that if you're going to want to be more productive, that this is huge. Start with a starting line and then get to the finish line. And getting to the finish line is a lot easier when you do these incremental pieces of that piece of content.
Wow, 2 for the price of 1 and absolutely stunning tips. I loved it. Thank you so much. Brilliant. And just Agile Marketing, was it called? How do you spell
Agile
that?
marketing, yeah.
Agile.
Agile, yeah, agile.
Okay,
Agile,
agile as
yeah.
in fragile without the fr. Okay, that's
Yeah,
easy to remember. Okay,
yeah.
fantastic. All right, so finally, Doreen, in the time that we've got left, what should I have asked you today that I didn't? And your answer, please.
I would love to talk about Strategy Talks, my video podcast that I do every week.
Please do.
All right. So I've been doing this. This is season 5, year 5. I go live every single week on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. And then I repurpose that podcast or that live show into a podcast, into a blog article, into small clips. And so anybody that has a small business, I have lots and lots of guests out there. We talk about marketing. Obviously, I'm a marketer, but it's a great way for me to be visible. One, that's my benefit. Two, to tap into somebody else's audience and for them to tap into my audience. So it's a win-win for both. And then 3, in order to build my business, you and I were talking about that in the green room, Robin. Most of my 95% of my business has come from referrals, and the referrals come in the green room, of the video podcast. That's where it happens, where I'm talking after the camera goes down and we turn off the lights and we have continued a conversation. That's where the referrals come.
Yeah, couldn't agree with you more. Absolutely brilliant. Love that. And look at that. We finished, we overrun by a little bit, but as I said to you also in the green room, I don't mind that. It's bonus material. And I think that's a win-win for our listeners and viewers. So that's perfect. And also, so I do always have one more question to ask at this point, which is always the same question. And it's a two-parter. Part one is, how can people reach you if they would like to find out more about what you do? And the second part is a variation of one that I normally do. We decided not to talk about valuable free resources today in terms of a thing that you can get a URL for, but you just mentioned your podcast, which is a hugely valuable free resource. So I would love it if you could explain to our listeners and viewers exactly how to find you on that as well, please.
Yeah, absolutely. So I am most active on LinkedIn. So my name is Dorien Morin-van Dam. I wear orange glasses and there's only one of me on LinkedIn. So it's very simple to find me there. And while you are there, you can look at my posts. I go live every single week on LinkedIn. You can find it also on my website, morinmedia.com. It's a play on words on my last name. It's not quite the same. morinmedia.com/strategy talks. And that's where my podcast lives. It's also on Spotify and YouTube and any place that hosts podcasts.
Fantastic. Well, with your orange glasses and me being the man in the hat, I think together we make a great little tag team in this short podcast today. Dorien, that's been wonderful, truly inspirational. And I'm not just making that up. I think that you gave us some wonderful tips. It's fascinating hearing about what you do, and I do hope that our listeners and viewers will feel encouraged to listen to your podcast and also to get in touch with you as well, because it sounds like you provide a service that is badly needed out there. So Dorien Morin-van Dam, thank you so much for appearing on Goalbusters today.
Thank you, Robin.
You're extremely welcome. And remember, everybody, keep goalbusting and make your future self proud. Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Goalbusters. If you're enjoying it, please subscribe, rate and review it on your favourite podcast platform. Your support is very much appreciated. And if you're ready to boost your online profits, skyrocket your productivity, crush procrastination, and see a positive change in your bank balance, all within just 30 days, this is your opportunity. Take my free 5-day challenge at www.skyrocketyourproductivitychallenge.com.